Alright, so we're currently sitting here at Pikes Peak. I've never actually stayed here on the channel. Been here before, just on a hike. It's pretty windy. There's not a whole lot of protected campsites from the wind here at Pikes Peak. So I might shoot across the Mississippi River and head over to the ridge, the other ridge. That's what I'm going to do. So we'll see you back over across the Mississippi. Well friends, we made it to camp. I'm going to work on getting the camper set up now and getting the diesel heater running. And then I got a great supper that I'm going to do right in that fire ring. We got the diesel heater going. I got to go get the campfire going so I can cook my dinner. I'm starting to get hungry. And we're set up for the night. All right, friends, we'll let that start, get nice and warm, and we'll throw our food on it. That's taken off real nice. I'm gonna go in the truck camper while that gets going because it's very loud out here and it's hard to film. So we got some big wind up in the treetops. It's not getting too bad down here at ground level, but it's kind of loud. I don't even know if you can hear it on the camera, but I'm afraid you probably can. We'll go inside and I'll show you what I'm going to throw on the fire here in a couple minutes. For those of you that watched my last video, you know that I was successful this year harvesting some venison off the home farm. So right here I have a foil pack, and inside is some cubed venison backstrap, potatoes, halved potatoes, carrots, let's see what else, garlic, and a bunch of seasonings, bunch of butter. And we're gonna stick this sucker right in the fire. It's supposed to keep getting colder and colder, single digits by morning. After about 9 a.m. tomorrow, it's supposed to start going back up into the high 20s. It's definitely winter camping for sure. That breeze down at ground level is making it not so comfortable. If the breeze was any stronger, I wouldn't even have a fire. But we are at Wyalusing State Park, which we've been here a couple other times. Normally I'm camping right on the edge, looking over the beautiful valley where the Wisconsin River pours into the Mississippi. And I did go over there and check those sites out, but it was beyond windy. I bet there was 20-mile-an-hour gusts with 15-mile-an-hour sustained winds right on the edge there. So we're across the road, kind of down and tucked in a little valley, and that's why the treetops are getting the wind, but we're pretty good down here. Let's head out, see if we can find a spot in the fire for this. The fire honestly probably isn't quite ready to put this on. I really don't have a great bed of coals yet, but I'm gonna have to put the fire out if the wind gets any worse. According to my weather app, the wind should be about as bad as they're gonna get, but I don't necessarily trust the weather apps, so I'm going to get this cooking while I can. Otherwise, we're going to be eating raw potatoes. Well, I don't know if it's done or not, friends. But we're going to open her up. She's going to get eaten. Looks like it probably broke open or leaked at least on the fire. Oh, it's perfect, friends. Put a couple cloves of garlic in with that, and I'll tell you what, that was the strongest garlic I've ever eaten in my life. Took a little piece of clove and just ate it raw. Whew, that was a mistake. We're gonna need some salt on that, but I gotta get you over here closer so you can get a look at it. Nice chunk of venison backstrap. Just melt in your mouth. Man, friends, I wish you could smell this and taste this. So this was so simple to put together. I'm gonna say this is right up there with the top. It's in the top handful of meals I've made out camping on the channel here. Let me know, friends, if y'all have any good venison backstrap recipes or foil pack recipes. All this one is potatoes, cubed backstrap, carrots, and then I got some garlic cloves in there, salt, pepper, Kinder's butter lemon stuff, smoked paprika, just a little bit, and then a whole lot of butter. There's nothing better than wild game that you harvested on your own. You put the work into doing it, processing it, and all that. Been doing it my whole life, friends. This fork, I got a little potato, carrot, meat, and some garlic clove on there. Oh, I forgot to tell you, throwing stuff in here when I was making this at home, I also did put some everything bagel seasoning in it. It's pretty good. I'd do it again. I feel like the pre-made foil pack pouches that you can buy would probably stay sealed a little better. However, they're extremely expensive. For those of you that are new, if y'all are wondering why I have this big chunk of styrofoam, I'll let you know here in just a second. I just need to tidy up a bit. Alright, so this is what I call like my battery box area. Basically, I have two portable power stations. I have the Blue Eddy EB55, which is my main source of electricity in this camper. And this is just a secondary one that's much smaller, and I only use that for backup, or if I'm already using my 12 volt plug in my Blue Eddy and I need to turn the fan on or something quick, I'll plug the fan into this one. It's charged via solar panel when I'm off grid. If I'm on grid, then I can charge it by simply plugging the charger into the camper. 99% of my videos are all off grid. Everything here is charged via the 100-watt solar panel on the roof. I would like to get one or two more 100-watt solar panels, or one more 200-watt solar panel to add to the roof. And that would honestly, for what I do, probably just always take care of me. But the biggest issue with my setup is cold weather. But if it drops below 32 degrees, none of this stuff will take charge or discharge. So what I do, and I do have, I have something coming in the mail to try, and it may be just real slick. Basically, this is a door that I have made so that all the heat that's in here from these things running and just residual heat from this thing being open when it's warm in here. So like when I go to leave and I want this thing to keep taking charge from the sun and not get so cold that it won't take charge, I'll put this. This is designed to fit right in here. And then that whole thing is literally boxed in on all 6 sides, top, bottom, and all 4 sides around it with 2-inch styrofoam, and it'll hold heat for a long time. So basically that's my little workaround for now, trying to keep these portable power stations running below freezing temperatures. Not 100% successful yet, but maybe what I got coming in the mail will make me hit that 100% mark. For those of you that are new, I just do this on the weekends. My goal is to put a video out once a week, but it generally ends up being about once every other week, and sometimes I'll go several weeks without being able to make one. I just do it when I can. I live a very busy life. It's me, my better half Lauren, and then 4 kids. Any of y'all that have kids, you know, it makes for a busy life. And of course, as much as I love all you subscribers, and I do, my immediate family, time with the kids, time with Lauren, it's always going to trump going out and making videos. But they also like the videos. We got a nice balance going on, and we'll always have these videos coming out to you. For those of you that may have missed my last video, well, first off, I recommend giving it a watch. And then also, I let everyone know on that video that I did make 2 Dusty Outdoor stickers, and they are available for purchase. It's just an option that I made available for people that maybe wanted to help out me and the channel, and that's one really good way that you can, and you get something out of it. Lauren and myself ship the stickers out. We generally put a little note in there with it. We have, I think, around 11 of each sticker left, because we did have several orders come through after that last video. But there's about 11 stickers left of both options. And of course, there's always the 100% free way to support me, which is making sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button on the videos, only if you like them, of course. But I'm an open book, so any questions, let me know down in the comments. For those of you asking, I do have a P.O. box, which will also be down in the comments. Oh man, friends, listen to this. It's just roaring out there. For the new subscribers, that's my kitchen area in my used marketplace pop-up truck camper. This is stovetop that does not work because I don't have any of the LP stuff hooked up in this. Up there's the master bedroom, which during the summer I sleep up there. During the winter I use it for storage and sleep down here because on super cold nights I have the top down. Much less square footage to try to heat. There's my power area, which we went over. There's the fridge, which I don't have running right now because I got a frozen, I do have butter in there, but I have a frozen jug in here and it's winter out. So I got storage up here that I keep some food in. I got a loaf of bread and then just some other miscellaneous things, a couple wannabe MREs. Back there I got some mac and cheese. Over here I kind of got my main things here that I use all the time. There's my salt, pepper, and all those things. My little cooking pan, jet boil coffee, jet boil fuel, some Jack Link's chili. We got Dusty Outdoors right there. Lauren's mom made that for me. Over here we got some art made by our 9-year-old. It says welcome back. He gave that to me after one of the trips I was on. And then he also made me this, which just says Dusty Outdoors with some pine trees and the old truck camper right there. And he's got one that matches, so made out of leather and a little bit of elastic. So you'll be seeing more of the boys, I'm sure, this summer when it's a little nicer to be outside. But having said all that, I'm going to get cozied up in my sleeping bag, probably call Lauren, and then hit the hay. So we'll catch you all in the morning. Bye, friends. Good morning, friends. Temp dropped down to like 8 degrees last night. I probably should have lowered the top. So my canvas around the top of this is not insulated, so just tons of heat was leaving through the canvas last night. So it was a struggle to stay warm. It stayed, I was able to get it up to around 55 degrees in here, and it pretty much stayed there all night. And that was with diesel heater running on high. It's a very small diesel heater, but when this top is popped, there's just so much square footage you're trying to heat. Uninsulated square footage, so it's just not that efficient. So I'm gonna get packed up here at this site because where I really wanted to go was Pikes Peak across the river in Iowa. I just didn't feel like camping there because it was so windy at that campground. It was windy here, but nothing like the exposure over at the other campground. So we just shot across the river, stayed here at Wyalusing State Park, and now I got maybe a 15-minute drive to get back over to Pikes Peak State Park in Iowa, and we're gonna do a hike there. All right, friends, we're here at Pikes Peak State Park in Iowa. I'm gonna switch into my boots with some traction on the bottom, and we're gonna go for a little hike. There's a waterfall here called Bridal Falls. I've been here before, but I don't think I've ever been here when it's been so cold for so long, and I'm curious what those falls look like when it's been this cold. All right, to start out this hike, we're gonna go over here to this lookout deck. I'm going to give you a little idea of where this is in comparison to where we stayed last night. Alright, so this is a very cool deck. It's 2 stories. We're going to stick to the top story. This is Pikes Peak observation deck. And we're going to walk right to the point. Alright, so that way we're looking north up the Mississippi River. That way south down the Mississippi River. And then that way is east looking up the Wisconsin River. We are looking over right here the confluence of the Wisconsin River into the Mississippi, which we've looked over before from over on that bluff. So that bluff over there is Wyalusing State Park in Wisconsin. That's where we stayed last night, and we've been to a couple times on the channel. It is quite cold, so we're going to continue with the hike, but what a cool spot. As I've mentioned in a few past videos, this whole area that I'm in right now, which is northeast Iowa, southeast Minnesota, and southwest Wisconsin, kind of that tri-state area, very rich in Native American history. So like many of the places you go in this area, there are some mounds built. One being right here. I'm not sure if they're burial mounds or what, but they're Native American made mounds. So this says, out of respect, please do not walk on the mounds. So I'm guessing they're burial mounds. Let me know down in the comments if any of you have any good spots you think I'd like to go visit in the Midwest area. It's supposed to warm up this week. It sounds like, at least for us here in southwest Wisconsin, we're going to have a warm Christmas, relatively speaking. I mean, we just came out last week, we were having like negative 17 degree temps with feels like temperatures of in the negative 30s. So, you know, if we can get up around 30 degrees above zero, that'd be pretty warm. Here we got another little lookout deck. Over there's the town of Prairie du Chien. Again, that's the bluff that Wyalusing State Park is on over there. There's the bridges we crossed to get over into Iowa. And then down that way, there's a bridge we had to cross to get across the Wisconsin River. Well, I'm hearing some flowing water, so it's not completely frozen up. But I can only imagine with the amount of ice that's on these steps, there's got to be some sort of ice structure or something. So that way goes back up to the parking lot, and we're going to go this way, and that leads you to several places. And if you didn't know, no bikes on the steps here. We got some ice down here for sure on this little mini falls. If this is any inclination as to what Bridal Falls is going to be like, I think we're going to be in for a treat. So we got no water movement here. So this little section here, the ultimately keeps going down and joins in with the main stream and continues down to the Mississippi. This one's completely frozen up. This is definitely a little off camber, so trying to be careful. All right, we got ice wrapping clear around to here. So this is a pretty cool little falls, and it's been running for quite some time. So I'll zoom in closer here. You can see it's coming down there. But right here, it's a little hard to tell on camera, but right here is a giant, that's a giant mound of basically rock, built up mineral over thousands of years. Has basically made a pile of rock there. You can kind of see it hitting there and then falling and coming out behind it. And it goes down. Just continues on down this bluff. All the way down into the Mississippi River Valley, clear down there. That's some pretty cool stuff. Probably be a decent place to make a survival shelter if you had to. Analyze the risk of getting in and out of it. But you could definitely hunker down under that rock overhang there. It's probably 15 feet overhang. Get you a little fire under there. You got spring water right there. Oh, friends, I just heard a massive, massive ice crack or ice pop down off the river. Almost sounded like thunder. And then here's Bridal Veil Falls. Looking down from the top. Pretty minimal water flow. It's never really much more than that, unless of course it's been a heavy rain or something in the summer. So out here in this mowed ridge, there are definitely some more Native American mounds. Whether they're burial or not, I don't know for sure. I'm guessing they're burial. There's actually one right here. Real nice long one. And then there's probably 3 or 4, maybe more, further out the ridge there. They're very hard to see in the snow though, so we'll definitely have to come back in the summer, check them out. Okay, I was wondering if this was still gonna be here. Every time I've ever been here, there's been this big fallen tree, and I kind of didn't think it was going to be here this time because there's clearly been some logging going on. And it has definitely been affected for sure. But there's a little structure that someone's been building there. But this large one down here, that one's the OG structure right there. So this long fallen tree right here was much higher up there and used to be able to walk into this. So unfortunately it is not what it used to be, but there was many years of, I'm sure, kids coming here in the summer and while they're out camping with their families, coming out here and putting the old sticks up and making that a pretty cool little structure there. I'm going to head back to the parking lot. I got one more spot that I want to check out while I'm here at Pikes Peak. I don't know if we'll have access to it. I've never been to the particular part I want to go. Alright, so I'm here in this parking lot called Homestead Parking. I've always kind of assumed there was an old homestead here, but I'm not so sure now. After coming in, it might just be a parking spot for hiking trails, and they call it the Homestead because it's also their main drive to their park buildings, and I don't see anything resembling an old homestead. Just call it that because there used to be a homestead here that's no longer here, and instead it's a paved parking lot. I don't know, friends. It doesn't appear that there is a homestead here. Just the name of the parking lot. Sorry about that, friends. Well, that didn't exactly end 100% how I thought it would. I thought we'd be looking at a cool old homestead here. And maybe there is, and I just don't know. I'm going to have to do some research on that. For all of y'all, have a great next week celebrating the holidays, however it is that you celebrate it. I, for one, will be celebrating the birth of baby Jesus. Don't forget, I still have stickers available if that's something you're interested in. It's a really good way to help the channel out and get something out of it. A free way to help me out drastically is to just hit that subscribe button and like the videos, only if you like them though. I do have a P.O. box now. It'll be in the description of all my videos moving forward. As always, to the military men and women, past, present, future, thank you for your service. Thank you for my freedom. And we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye, friends. Oh, man. I gotta go find a car wash.